everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I have my April book haul. So I'm going to quickly preface this by saying that actually you guys have seen a lot of the books that I'm going to haul today in other videos. I will leave everything linked down below. I will mention them. So because of that, and because I have quite a bit here, we're going to speed through the ones that you would have already seen in other videos, and then get to the other things that I purchased in April. There's quite a few things here. I do have some ebooks and stuff like that to talk about, so let's do it. The first video that we're going to talk about, because I have it right here, I have a stack of books from an unboxing video where I unboxed like 3 different boxes, but it had 4 different books there. One of them was from Afterlight, which is the Kiss Countdown by Etta Easton. We also had just a plain Illumicrate box that was not a subscription, but it was like a sequel that I had, which is Dark Star Burning, Ash Falls White by Emily Wen Zhao. And then I also had a rainbow crate. We have Junker 7 by Olive J. Kelly. This is the indie book. And then we also had Icarus by Kay Ankrum. This is their traditionally published book. I also had a video where I went to Barnes & Noble and we walked around a little bit, you know, shopped, and then I had books that I brought home, and I basically filled up a whole tote bag and was like, anything that fits in here, I'm allowed to buy. So let's run through those quickly as well. I have the next 4 books. I'm gonna drop them because Elliot's here. In the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. So we have book 7, Flashback, book 8, Legacy, book 8.5, Unlocked, and book 9, Stellar Loon. These are all obviously by Shannon Messenger, and they're middle grade fantasy. I also got some romances, so I have The Dead Guy Next Door by Lucy Score. This is going to be like a paranormal sort of one. Thank you, yes. Thank you so much. We have Canadian Boyfriend by Jenny Holiday. This is going to be a fake dating sort of one. I also have How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwong. I don't know if this is actually second chance romance or not, but another romance. And then we have This Spells Love by Kate Robb. Can you guys see this? Elliot's handing me all the books. This is going to be a fantasy sort of romance. Again, paranormal, witchy sort of stuff. And then we have manga as well. So I have Can't Stop Cursing You, Volume 4 by Kensuke Koba. I actually read this in April as well. Recently talked about it in my wrap-up. We have Mimi's Tales of Terror. This is illustrated by Junji Ito, but it was original stories by Hirokatsu Kihara and Ichiro Nakayama. I also have PTSD, Volume 2 by Masaki Nakayama, and My Love Mix-Up, Volume 8, and Volume 9 by Wataru Hinakure. This is going to be more of like a young adult, boys love, romance sort of stuff. Stitches, this is another one illustrated by Junji Ito, but it is short stories by Hirokatsu Kihara. There are short stories in here with illustrations more than like a manga. And I also picked up Saga Volume 11 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. So that was everything from the Barnes & Noble haul. Now, like I said, I do actually have other things to actually haul and talk about. One was a pre-order for me, which is Ghost Station by S.A. Barnes. This is the same author as Dead Silence, which was a sci-fi horror that I absolutely loved. It was like one of my favorite books the year it came out. I actually read it as an ARC. Like, I absolutely love it. This is not a sequel, but it is the same sort of, it's gonna be sci-fi horror. I really loved that the first one, Dead Silence, was more sci-fi than horror. Like, it was a good introduction to horror, if that's not the genre you love the most. I'm going to say right now, because I am busy in life, I will have a life update and stuff coming out soon, but I do think this is going to be one of my Patreon book club picks for either September or October, just because it is something that was recently released. I want people to have enough time to read it or get a hold of it if they want to read it, but I really want to read this one because I love Dead Silence so much. So this is going to be a pick. Just plan on either September or October. And so actually that's all the physical books. Everything else that we're going to be talking about are ebooks, because I did get some ebooks in the month of April. I don't think we've had too many this year. The first one is going to be The Sunshine Court by Nora Sokovic. This was on sale for like 99 cents on Amazon. beginning, I want to say, of April, because this is like a new book in the Foxhole Court series. It is going to be following Jean, who was one of the characters, like a side character in the Foxhole Court, and at the end of that series he goes to a different school, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be following that, like his new life and everything in this new university and teammates and things. I've heard really, really good things because people have been devouring this already. I did purchase it on ebook. I think eventually I want to reread the Foxhole Court series because I do love it, and it's been a while since I've reread them. I've read them multiple times, but I want to reread before I get to this one. But this was like sort of a surprise. Like, I knew Nora Sakavic was working on something, and like we sort of knew about it, but even the release date of it was just sort of like, hey, it's released. Like, it was a surprise, especially since this is like quite a ways after like the Foxhole Court was originally published and like got notoriety and stuff. Like, it's a very talked about series, both in good ways and bad ways. I personally love it. It has lots of trigger and content warnings. You do have to suspend your disbelief a little bit because it's like a sports book, but like obviously not everything, it's like not a real sport. Not everything in it is going to be exactly accurate. I personally love them. I need to read this new one. The next one I picked up was Bioluminescence by Tony Duarte. This is a book that I did get for free. I believe the author had it on sale for some reason. And this is going to be a like queer sci-fi young adult dystopian sort of thing. I really like the cover. That's really what drew me in here. And because I don't know like too much about it, I am going to read part of the summary at least. Plagued by anxiety, medic in training Georgie Wicks is teetering on the brink of emotional collapse. When her settlement's trade groups, including her father, vanish under mysterious circumstances, the future of her home hangs in the balance. Now she must risk everything and venture beyond the walls into a dangerous, mutated version of the world she once knew. Adam Kulik is a quick-witted survivor with a lethal knack for sniping. His fierce determination to protect Oliver, the last bastion of peace in his life, fuels his relentless survival instinct. But beneath his cheerful facade, Adam grapples with addiction and past trauma that threatens to consume him entirely. When their paths collide, Georgie discovers the deadly fungus that decimated humanity is not the only danger lurking in the shadows. With not only her home but the entire city on the line, the stakes are higher than she could have ever imagined. One is driven by the hope of saving humanity, the other is scarred by its cruelty and indifferent to its survival. Now they must find strength in their differences to protect their loved ones and find a way through the looming darkness or risk being devoured by it. So yeah, dystopian, there's some sort of fungus that's going on that's like, that was the reason why it's a dystopian, sort of like post-apocalyptic sort of thing. I am very curious about this one. And then actually it looks like the last three that I need to talk about here are a series. This is the Realm of Monsters series by Amanda Agee, and the third book was coming out near the end of April, and she had all three books for free. They are some sort of like fairy tale retelling sort of thing. Okay, and I'm not going to read the summary of all three of these books, but they are all in the same world. They do look like they are not in a same series in the fact that they go from like one to the other to the other. They're like companion novels, individual novels. And This Wicked Curse predates the events of This Wicked Fate, but I think it was published separately. This one is supposed to be a Captain Hook sort of story, and it's an enemies to lovers tale featuring a slightly unhinged shadow daddy with a broken moral compass. The world is dark, but it's also full of adventure and magic. It is a spellbinding fusion of Peter Pan and Greek mythology. I'm very curious. And then This Wicked Fate was published first. It's for fans of The Witcher and Brave, with cinnamon roll heroes that give golden retriever energy. It's a fantasy romance featuring a strong female heroine and a druid prisoner. So this one is also going to be based on Brave specifically. And then This Wicked Bond is the one that just came out recently, and the reason why things were on sale. This one is supposed to be a mix between Tangled and Robin Hood. It's an enemies to lovers tale featuring a morally gray shifter hero with a slew of red flags. The world is dark but full of adventure and magic. Spellbinding fusion of Robin Hood, dragons, and monsters. But I did see on her Instagram the Rapunzel part of that as well. So like, I'm very, very curious about all of these, especially because, like I said, part of a series, but like you don't have to actually read them as a series. You can pick whatever one you want. Companion novels, more just like in the same world. And so yeah, that was the last ebook that I purchased in that month. But like in general, I bought a lot of books in April. The thing is, I hadn't been into a Barnes & Noble, I think, since the beginning of the year. Like, since maybe December even, like last year. And I let myself go a little crazy. Anything that fit in that tote bag, I allowed myself to buy. So that's why I have such a huge amount of books to haul right now, is because of that. So that is going to be it for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos coming out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes Saturdays. So I will see you then. Bye.